This mic. Test. Test. Okay. Okay. So we will actually be painting noses right now. Yesterday I was explaining the skin color in tints and stuff. So today we will be painting them nose. So it's a practice and also a it doesn't have to be perfect. You can we can start with objects like bottles, bowls, pots. You can do all those cylinders and stuff. It's practice with blending and getting familiar with our paints. Before that, I want to introduce you to this medium. It's the Pabeo XL painting medium. I use this mainly because it has this texture. When you're using linseed oil, right? It's like too wet. Uh, like water, right? It's not. It's too wet, right? When you're using linseed oil, but when you're using medium, like the Pibeo or liquid or stuff like that, they have this stickiness to them that helps you paint. So this Pebeo one is, they say, Google AI says that this is a acrylic polymer, mix of acrylic polymer medium. So to avoid misunderstanding, acrylic polymer is not the same as the acrylic emulsion that is used by acrylic paints. So basically, the acrylic emulsion is a modified version of an acrylic polymer, so it becomes water-based. This one is like a pure version of it. Okay, so let's start with our first nose. I prefer the just wing it. Look at the angles, wing it. Prioritize the shades first, the mass of the object that we are trying to paint. See where we can actually gonna anchor ourselves first, right? Need an anchor and everything, so you can start with charcoal drawing. But in this case, we're not gonna focus on likeness. We just want to find the quickest way to to paint doses. but to convincingly paint the nose, I guess we should also include our nose bridge here. Right. Some of the parts of the face here. So let's do that. Then, again, we start by painting with our desaturated skin tone. Uh, I guess we should enhance the shadows first, but when doing this, my goal is, finding like the most efficient brush strokes for creating noses. So the rules are to not go into detail and using the paint itself to carve out the form. So we start by the shadow. Isolate ourselves here, I guess. But I made a mistake here. I don't know if it's a mistake or not. In my mind, it's a mistake, but it might not be a mistake. Maybe this is how you should do it. Because when you're looking at those paintings by Sargent, right? You can see that some of the shadows are like overlaid later, like a final, like it's overlaid after the base tone. Like he places the shadow after you already has base tone layer. So important thing is to squint to that, squint, so we can see just the, like a cutout our subject. Avoid, first thing is to avoid painting the small details first. Guess we should first should have done this first. Beds should be placed first. The more saturated colors. Try that next time. Just paint it down. Don't even think. Paint it. See what we get, right? So we missed like a shadow here. Hard shadow there. Basically, I should have like painted a shadow there. Right here. Okay, so I'm a little bit tempted to do this. Mark a stroke here. Right here. Really wanna push this out. I don't wanna overdo it. This one should be like more reds, and then I added some of the grays. Our dark gray, our shadow color, which is a dark gray. So let me show you the palette. Again, I just remade the palette. This, so it's the same thing. We have our dull base tone here. Also a reddish version. This is the pure burnt sienna. Reddish version, yellowish version. Then we have the shadow here. Shadow of this. Okay. It's just gray with burnt sienna. Okay. So I'm really tempted to like this is already a mistake in my rules, my own imposed like rules, like game rules. Basically, I just made a game for myself. Like I shouldn't paint these shadows, but maybe that's the way. But you know, maybe that's the way. Maybe it's not the way. because now maybe I should have started with this amount of, you know, this value and saturation for the shadow. Started with that, maybe would look like this. What I'm hoping here is to just build like a process memory, visual and process memory. So that when I start like creating portraits next time, or drawings or illustrations, it's going to be easier because I already have like information built into my muscles and uh, my mind how to do it. And you will always build that, uh, have that as your like. It always happens. I mean, like you always get this memory. So sometimes it's best to, when you're doing something, just do like before doing anything, right? Uh, think about what you're going to do before actually doing it, because you're not going to do it perfectly. You're going to create mistakes, right? But at least those are conscious like filters. It becomes like filters for your mind now, so it will always associate things as this is correct, this is incorrect. But it's okay. It just minimize the error creation in our brains. So it's like recording a video, right, for our brains to use. We build this library in our brains. It's like walking, right? As a kid, you start to walk just like that. Do it, and then we fall. That's fine. Keep doing it anyway. Till we eventually, like our muscles, like build this uh, experience, right? It's not just in the brain, it's also in our muscles. Because if you guys don't know, our muscles actually have neurons in it. Actually possesses neurons. So it means it remembers things. Okay, I think that's a good nose. So let's put on some highlights. Let's wash the brush. I think that's good enough. I don't wanna keep meddling with it. Make it too smooth. I just wanna like carve things out. Just like creating a quick sketch, so to speak. Okay. Doesn't have to be, it's just like you're sketching. We always have to start somewhere, and that's where I want to develop myself. The ability to sketch with color. 'Cause I never had a chance to do that in my youth. I always afraid of doing it. We're always stuck, like doing stuff, afraid of making a mistake. But time, time to make those mistakes, because we can now guide ourselves, right? We now have the ability to guide our steps, teach ourselves. So what I'm finding here is that I'm still building things piece by piece, and my goal is to be able to do multiple things at once. Like for example, this cheek here, right? In the future, I'm hoping that what I'm doing here will enable me to, like, not only consider the nose when painting the nose, actually see the surrounding colors as well, or the surrounding forms. So one of the rules that I set for myself is I think I lost my is I lost my train of thought because I was trying to think about this area here. Should I dull it down, or should I just keep it like that? Xavier, hello. Hello. Xavier says you are stable, man. I do pencil drawing. Colors are very scary for me. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to break free from, Xavier. I want to, like, be able to sketch using colors, like draw using colors, right? So we all start from pencil, and we that's very comfortable for us, right? Because it's only one color and one tool, and then we can use that tool to uh, create values, right? Create forms, and it's so convenient. It's just one tool that we can use, and it does everything for us. I think that's what I want to break free from, or maybe not break free from, but to improve. No, not actually, because I think it's a different discipline. Like pencil is a different discipline, right? What is it? Xavier says, what is it? This is a nose. It's basically a study to reduce, like the goal is to reduce the amount of detail, be able to depict something uh, without having to actually say everything. Say something without saying everything. And while I'm doing this, I'm like thinking about my palette, how much of the paint is being used, how the palette is evolving. Like as I mix through, is this good? Is this a good thing or not? I don't I don't want to lose the palette. Like I mean, I don't want to end up with a messy palette. Like one of my self-imposed goals is to create a process that involves me not having to mix everything. Like it's a step by step process that produces the same result without having to like mix everything in the palette. Like it should be a process that's maybe start from the shadow, like build the form, the silhouette, and then layer on top of it the light color, and that should automatically make the paints like blend with themselves and create the form. So that's my goal. I don't wanna like, okay, I'm missing some colors here, so let me mix on my palette, and I'm not very happy right now because looking at this, I'm mixing some colors here, but it's not all a loss because now I understand that to create this area of shadow here, I had to mix the shadow and this pure burnt sienna to create the shadow area. So it's a warmer color and it looks more pleasing. And next time I will remember this. I will know that this is correct and I will be using that process. So it's not all a loss. Xavier says, embracing what you love, I guess. Yes, yes. And also, searching for yourself, right? As an artist, I think it's really fun to like search yourself, right? To know yourself as an artist, to like, unleash yourself. I always have this principle that, style is just you expressed. So that's what I'm trying to do. Uh, I don't know if you have that experience. Like sometimes when you're resting, like lying down in your bed, and you kind of think, like, have these visions of yourself, like doing something, and then you get inspired to do it, right? It becomes like an obsession in your mind, like say with drawing, right? Pencil, and then you kind of just sitting there watching Netflix maybe, and then you kind of start to think, oh, maybe if I do this, kind of expresses that form better and more efficiently. Xavier says, I subscribed. Okay. Hope to see you. Hope you find the content helpful and inspiring. Maybe a bit of a guide. Sometimes a person's mistake is somebody else's inspiration. Like those ads, right? Those gaming ads. Like the game intentionally shows you the player there losing to the game to encourage you to try it. Sometimes that's how it is. I don't wanna keep touching it. So my lessons here is that by painting the under drawing first like this, I should have painted this warmth and this shadow here before painting this color. That way it's going to mix, like automatically mix there. That's the first lesson. And then this color, mixing these colors, like the shadow derived from here, mix it with the pure one, and we create this saturated, a more stronger, like spicier shadow. That's helpful for areas here. That is quite mixable when we paint over it with this color. It's harmonious because they have the same pigments in them. Have the same pigments. Then, so next, go forward. Let's not dwell here. Let me try something. Get a white. Let's try this. Let's get a white paint and just dab it here, maybe. Let's dab it here. I think that's too wet. Dab it down. See how that works. Use a malt stick. Oops. How does that help? Does that help or not? Maybe should have. Maybe we should use this yellowish one. Maybe stretch it out here a little bit. Ooh, okay. I guess that's good enough for now. Wipe this off here. Xavier says, I take like days to draw a portrait, and music while drawing is not my thing. What about you, man? How you usually draw? What's the environment you like? The most efficient for me is very quiet environment, like very quiet, some peanuts on the side, fresh juice or like a pineapple juice, something here on the side. So that's usually what will make me more like focused, right? But it kind of quickly kills my interest because it becomes like you're too focused, you lose your energy a lot, right? So what I do is quite kind of the same. Sometimes I put on music. Sometimes I just put on something like a YouTube video, a tutorial, or some artist, or some like uh, let's say I'm going to listen to like UFO documentary or something like that, or uh, a crime documentary, right? So anything that's like not like pulls me away from the work, like gives me a little bit more room to breathe. No, I think I understand it. Too focused on something, like it becomes like too heavy, too serious, so to speak. But okay, why don't we try another nose here? Just picking a nose here that might be interesting. So let's just look for some shapes and shadows. Uh, should we jump to another one or just the same? Okay, let's try to recreate this Lady Agnes nose. Not actually recreate, but just use it as a reference, the shape. Okay, so what I'm seeing is there's a lot of forms that Sargent has done here. So he basically made it the cut here. What he did, what he did was like he kind of had this form, right? His nose general form. Uh, I think he started with the lights and just scumbled this in. Maybe he cut this first, all of this. He made those lines like that. But maybe he had the shadows first, the grayish colors here, and then use the worm to cut that down. Because the nose has this bridge here, right? Like a button, like a bridge. So we'll see. No pressure. Just a sergeant. No pressure. Okay, so let's do the shadows first. All right, Xavier says he's going to sleep. Thanks, man. Thanks for the support and thanks for the subscribe. And hope you have a nice sleep. Have a nice night and restful sleep. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for dropping by. Really nice to have people drop by, just chat. Express yourself here. We are safe. No judgments here. We'll do this. So we're pretending that we're sketching this nose, right? So it's not gonna be perfect. So we're gonna be first gonna mark the head, the tip, the shape. Okay, this is the general silhouette of the nose. Where it ends. This is where it begins. goes, stuff like that. And we paint our mass. By running through this shadowed area, we have to automatically mix it down. Okay, so we need to leave some space here for us to carve. Put that down there. Um, all right. So I guess we were on the right track in the first drawing here. Basically what I'm seeing with Sargent's work is he does follow the same process. Kinda does. Nope. Okay. So we promised ourselves not to be so anal about it. So we're gonna give ourselves some space here because it's not about, again, it's not about the actual likeness. And by doing this, actually, we've already successfully created the half tone there. Great. Okay, great. Okay, makes this cut here. So he cuts this, makes a cut, cuts it, cuts it down, through. Very saturated version of our burnt sienna. I think he's using a red here, but cuts that down, cuts that. We mix all of these cuts. I think we should have done this first, like this. My brush is too dry, so let's put some more medium. Uh, Just in context first. Mm, cuts that, it cuts this form here. Here, he spreads it out a little bit. There. Then cuts here. Cuts it there, spreads it here. Right? That. So by doing this, by having this warmth here, we can now actually keep this form up. I think we did too much there. Do this. Oh, no. Do this. Hmm. Okay. Let's wash our brush. We have a lot of desaturated color there, and we want it to be clean. Our desaturated paint here again. Just out. Push it away. Bulbous nose here. The bulbous nose. Hmm? Light touch. It out a little bit. On the bulbous. Focus on the bulbous. Focus on the bulbous. Okay. Something weird here. Nope. So basically you can't create this angle that is made here. Looks like it does this. And then just cuts it off. He cuts that off. He creates the pear shaped here. by painting over it like this. So it creates the bulbous nose while cutting that shape there. Then he does something like this. Okay, and then using the same warmth color, he makes this line here. Then pulls up like this. Then he makes another cut here. That this one is too dirty, just one stroke. Let's get our yellowish color here. Down here. Up. Then let's take a white, some yellow, poker, and start cutting it off here. That. Cut this bulbous nose. This one, I think he did something here, like a big one. Made something like that. And then fixed it. He then fixed it. No, I don't think he fixed it. He just laid over it like this. Oh, that's too noisy. Doesn't look natural. Trying to copy. Doesn't look natural. Lessons learned. At least we got his methods down a little bit. So that's going to store in our memory now. Either the truth is I consider this a mistake, an improper procedure. So next time, my brain is actually going to try and prevent me from doing this mistake. But some strokes here are correct. I think this one needs to be a little brighter. Get like a pure burnt sienna here with some white. Make it a little brighter. Paint it over the bulbous here. Bulbous. Yeah. Your own. Or medium. Gotta have that medium. Clear out the context here. Clear it. Actually faded this into that, like that. Okay, good enough. Clear out the context here. Contextualize the form. The bulbous is not perfect, but I guess we're on the right track. I'm really pleased with this palette that we made. I'm really liking it because you can move from shadow to warmth here. By just mixing both of this, we can move from shadow to warmth. Really cool. Let's do the shadow. Let's cut it here. Yeah, let's cut that. Warm it up. Okay. This gray is, I think this was laid down before the bulbous was created. You can see the bulbous nose has some gray, so I think this one was placed before you wrote down the bulbous. All right, all right. I'm actually pleased. I'm pleased. I'm pleased. Please. Oops. 30. Fix the context here. Just add the one. A little bit more. And this one kind of looks weird. But so let's darken it a little bit. Then reinforce the bulbous again. The bulbous is key for salvation. Okay. Last fiddle. One more fiddle. All right. Does it look okay? Does it look okay? Does it look like a nose? Or does it look too chaotic? Does it look too noisy? I like it. I like it. It's good. It's good. So my brain is gonna remember this. Gonna say like, oh, so it's okay. You don't actually have to paint everything in detail to get form. Actually, don't need that much. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Dust in here. Okay, let's add wire whites just for effect. Um, understand why he has that. Oh, okay, good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Nope, not yet. Oh, I think I ruined this. All right, all right. I'm fulfilled. Satisfied. It is well with my soul. So there were two lessons for me here, specifically for the holes here. So one side is something you add later by cutting the light. Here is you add it first and then cut it with the light. I don't know if that's correct. So these are the noses for today. We're already running how many minutes? These are our noses for today, guys. The nose for the day. Noses for the day. Noses for the day. So thanks for dropping by, guys. Ending the stream. Thanks for dropping by, and I hope to see you next time. And have fun. Have fun with your paintings. I will see you in the next video. Have a frontal view first, just for you guys to see. Actually looks like our front view. There. I think next time what I want to do is, before like cutting, I want to establish this form first, like the trapezoid here. I want to establish that first, and start cutting with the shadow. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Instead of building up from the light, building up using the light, maybe we could use that. Maybe that's for next time. Because right now the process is start with the darker colors, right? And then lighten it up. But then we end up like cutting. After like establishing like the initial form, like there's already like an initial shape there, not just a trapezoid, like a strict trapezoid, but a softer one, like a clay. Then we start cutting with the darker colors. So I guess look at our progress next time, how much we improve and how much our brains have processed this information, and how it has integrated this new experience. So alright, that's it for me, and I'll catch you next time. Hope you have a great day. Bye. Thanks for dropping by.